Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Keeping It Sweet with Kiki. I had to take a shower, you guys. I was all sweaty, gross, disgusting. My church had what they call Community Impact Day today. Basically, they have a bunch of different projects, and you choose one that you would like to go and volunteer at. So I volunteered to do this elderly woman's. She needed landscaping done, and then she needed her wheelchair ramp painted. So I painted, and it was like I did something that was so small, but also so meaningful to her and her life. And it was just amazing to come together with other people I never met. And to do this for this woman it was huge. It was amazing. I'm so blessed that God led me down this path and led me to these people. My church is amazing. It is seriously, it is the best. Like, I love that church. Anyways, let's get into today's topic. Today's topic is something that probably 90% of the world deals with. And if you don't deal with it, let me know how. And second of all, can I have your brain? But we're going to be talking about mental health. I'm kind of just going to tell you guys a little bit of my story with mental health, and then we're going to go through some different types of mental health and the signs, because I think it is smart to educate people on the different types and the signs, in case you or someone you love needs the help. I could still have stuff that I'm undiagnosed with, so it is always smart to just learn. Okay, so first of all, I have never been one to really deal with depression. I think I dealt with like maybe 2 depressive episodes in my life, and they were when I was a young teenager. But I have mainly dealt with anxiety. I think I came out of my mom's womb with anxiety. Like, I feel like anxiety is in my DNA. Like, anxiety filled girl right here. Yes, I am. But I would say growing up, I had your typical social anxiety. Now, if you've met me, you know I am very shy. I'm very quiet. And then once you get to know me, it's like a complete 360 and you're like, okay, what the fuck just happened? But yeah, I've always been shy. I've always been quiet. My main social anxiety growing up was school. It was having to, when you have a project and you got to present it to the whole class, take me out. Like, I'm not even joking, you guys. When I was a sophomore in high school, I missed a week of school just to get out of presenting my project to the class. Yep. And then, when you're in class and the teacher's like, okay, we're going to go in a line, read paragraphs. I was definitely that kid that was counting the paragraphs to my paragraph and reciting it in my head about 872 times. And then when it came to me, I still stuttered, still messed up. Yeah, that was me. But yeah, I would say growing up, I mainly dealt with social anxiety. And then fast forward to, I want to say 2023. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I am someone that I rarely get sick. I mainly get colds. Like, I don't really deal with, knock on wood, stomach flus or any of that stuff. Well, I got sick. It was like a week straight. I was very nauseous. I could not eat. I was lightheaded. I was dizzy. And then all of a sudden, when I was sleeping, I would get woken up by these like extremely hot flashes. Like, I'm talking like my body felt like I was on fire. And I went to the doctor, um, and they just kept saying it was viral. It was viral. Well, I started to feel a little bit better. Um, like the nausea went away. I was still feeling like The best way I could describe it is off. Like, I just felt off. Where was I going with that? But the hot flashes triggered my health anxiety. So, QN, the freaking $2,000 hospital bills racked up because they could not figure out what was wrong with me. And so my health anxiety got very bad. Very bad. It made my physical anxiety symptoms start to show. And so that is when I went to my doctor and got put on my first anxiety medication. I do not remember the name of it for the life of me, but that one didn't work out. So then she put me on hydroxyzine and buspirone. I would take the hydroxyzine before bed. The buspirone was just like, take it when needed during the day. Smokey, what are you doing? My cat. But I was on that, I don't know, I want to say in between 1.5 to 2 years, I was on that. The hydroxyzine, I never really took the buspirone because my anxiety I mainly had before bedtime. Like I said, the hot flashes triggered something in my anxiety filled brain. And I would have a lot of anxiety for bedtime. Like, I'm talking about my heart palpitations. My heart would be beating a million miles a second. It would skip beats. I would wake up out of sleep feeling I couldn't breathe. When I would try to sleep, my head just felt so fucking heavy. And it like scared me. Like, I don't even know how else to describe it. So the hydroxyzine was a hit or miss. It would help sometimes with my sleep issues. Other times it wouldn't. I just continued to take it. Because honestly, I was like, well, it helps sometimes. You know, it's better than not helping at all. Well, then I had my daughter. And I experienced, you know, I didn't realize how bad I had postpartum anxiety until I was out of it. But looking back, I definitely had a bad case of postpartum anxiety. And, you know, my doctor said, okay, well, let's cut off the hydroxyzine and let's try Wellbutrin. Well, Wellbutrin, nah, no, did not work for me. So, you know, my doctor was kind of done with my shit, not really, and said, okay, I'm going to refer you to a psychiatrist. I feel like I'm hearing shit. So I go to the psychiatrist and, you know, I tell her all about my issues, and she thought my sleep issues, she said, you need to go get a sleep study done. That kind of sounds like sleep apnea. Well, truth be told, I never went and got the sleep study done because I didn't really, I know I'm not a doctor, whatever. I've watched enough Grey's Anatomy, okay? And I've Googled enough shit. I didn't really feel like I had sleep apnea. I felt it was anxiety related. So she put me on Zoloft. And let me tell you, Zoloft has changed my fucking life. When I tell you I've been on Zoloft for probably a year, and you know, those, I don't know how to say it. We'll just say they're night terrors that I was talking about. I have had maybe 3 of them in the past year. That is huge, huge for me. Like, the heart palpitations have like vanished. Um, you know, you're still always gonna have a little bit of anxiety. You know, no pill or medicine's gonna take that completely away. But Zoloft has seriously changed my life. Like, I would have sex with Zoloft if I could. Like, seriously. Like, I bow down to Zoloft. Like, it has saved my life. Saved my life. Love Zoloft. It helped me, and thankfully my anxiety is now more controlled, and I finally feel like I'm back to being myself. I just feel like those couple years of anxiety, and especially health anxiety hitting me, I just constantly felt like I wasn't even in my own body. Like, you know, I had the worst, I'm telling you, the worst physical symptoms of anxiety ever. Like, I'm talking like brain zaps, feeling you're gonna pass out randomly, like the worst physical symptoms of anxiety. And like Zoloft KO'd those motherfuckers. Okay, so yeah, that is my story with anxiety. I just want to say though, as someone who tried 4 different anxiety medications before I found Zoloft, like you have to, if you choose to go the medication route, you have to give it time. You have to try different things because not everything works the same for everybody. So it just depends on you. Because literally my mom is on Wellbutrin and like she loves it. It helps her so much. And when I took it, it did the complete opposite for me. So that just shows right then and there it's not genetic. You know, medicine helps different people in different ways. Sorry, you guys, my kid woke up. Mom duties. But anywho, we're going to talk about a couple of these different mental health disorders and the signs to look out for. Off topic real fast, but has anyone read A Court of Thorns and Roses? That's all I have to say. Read it. Okay, so we're going to start with anxiety. There's different types of anxiety disorders. You got generalized anxiety, social anxiety, specific phobias, and separation anxiety. These are the symptoms to look out for. Feeling nervous, restless, or tense, having a sense of impending danger, panic, or doom, increased heart rate, breathing rapidly, sweating, trembling, feeling weak or tired, trouble concentrating or thinking about anything other than the present, having trouble sleeping, having an upset stomach or other problems with digestion, having difficulty controlling worry, having the urge to avoid things that trigger anxiety. Another big anxiety disorder is panic disorder. I've had panic attacks and those are horrible. So I had a panic attack. Let's explain it. It's repeated episodes of sudden feelings of intense anxiety and fear or terror that reach a peak within minutes. You may feel impending doom, shortness of breath, chest pain, rapid heart. Basically, you feel like you're going to pass away and die. Yeah. Okay, you have depression, which is obviously when you feel sad or hopeless or you lose interest in stuff and you don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to do anything. You feel no hope. That's depression. Okay, bipolar disorder. During mania, you may feel full of energy, act without thinking, or feel unusually happy. During depression, you may feel sad, tired, or hopeless. Schizophrenia. Symptoms can be delusions, hallucinations, disorganized speech and thinking, extremely disorganized or unusual motor behavior. Okay, next we're going to talk about PTSD and the symptoms. Bad flashbacks from the event, scary nightmares about the trauma, repeated unwanted thoughts about what happened, strong body reactions when reminded of the event, staying away from places, objects, or events that bring back memories, try not to feel or think about the scary event, pulling away from family and friends. Okay, and now we're going to talk about eating disorders. There's different types of eating disorders, so I'm just going to say the symptoms and the type varies because some of these I can't pronounce. So restricting food and or calorie intake, basically starving yourself, fear of gaining weight, eating large amounts of food in a short amount of time, or believing that the food intake was large, followed by vomiting, using laxatives, or exercising excessively, large amount of food, followed by shame, regret, guilt, or depression. Compulsively swallowing non-food items such as chalk, dirt, and paint. Undigested food returns to a person's mouth after swallowing it. It's then re-chewed, re-swallowed, or spit out. Limiting the amount or type of food eaten for reasons unrelated to a distorted self-image or an attempt to lose weight. Now, there are more mental health disorders. I just wanted to go over a few. They're all equally as important. If you have any of those symptoms or someone you love has those symptoms, try to talk to them. Be there for them, support them. You guys, if you deal with any type of mental health disorder, medication, you don't always have to run to medication. There's so many different ways to try to help yourself. You can try to self-medicate, and by that, I don't mean anything crazy. I just mean recognize your triggers, how to calm yourself down, how to help yourself through your triggers. Working out, a lot of people, that helps their mental state. Find God, get in the Bible, go to church. Meditating really helps. Talk to someone. If you feel like you have no one in your close life that you want to talk to or can talk to, I'm going to drop the numbers below that you can call: the suicide hotline, the mental health hotline. Call or text. No matter how big or small your issue seems to you, it still matters. People care about you, whether you realize it or not. So if you need someone to talk to, if you need help, please contact these numbers. Mental health does matter. Don't ever let anyone try to make you feel like you're different or you're weird or shame your mental health, because it is so normal. Like, just think about the world we live in, how much trauma we go through, how much we see, how much we hear. Like, it is normal, okay? It is normal. Just find someone to talk to. If you take anything out of this podcast, let it be find someone to talk to. You matter. You're important. I think that is going to conclude our episode for today. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. That's all for now.